Hey everyone, welcome back to Empire Build Academy and episode 19 of the Beginner to Pro series for Evony. And today we're talking about one of the easiest ways to grow faster in Evony without spending money. And that is, of course, the events and the rewards that you get from those events on the game. And trust me, if you are new to Evony, this is something you definitely do not want to ignore. Every single day, Evony is giving you free speed ups, resources, gems, items, and sometimes even general fragments, just for doing things you're probably already doing anyway. And the problem is loads of beginners either forget to claim them, don't know where to find them, or completely ignore them. So in this episode, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, what to prioritize, and how to make events part of your daily routine. I will also be using the game, which is this one here, but this is the PC version, so it may look a little bit different to what you are seeing on mobile. And of course, I will be using all of the different images for this as well to help guide us while we're going through the video. And this will all be added on topgamestrategies.com, which is my brand new website to replace empirebuildacademy.com, which will still be live, but this one will become the main feature going forward. And if you're not aware of Top Game Strategies, you can go into here. You can see that there are already some Evony guides in here, including the Beginner to Pro series, and also I'm adding some other guides, my videos, beginner guides, lots of things going on there, including the community with the forum as well. So if we click into community, you can see I'm going to be breaking all this down for forums for all of the different games that I'm doing. It is a work in progress. It is not currently actually officially launched. I'm getting closer every day. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks that will be official, but you can go and check it out now and check out some of the guides that I've already added. Okay, let's get straight back into today's one. As I mentioned, this is part of the Beginner to Pro series. These are all the different episodes that I've done. Of course, I've already done 18, I think it is now, that I've done on this particular Beginner to Pro series. And this will, again, lead us all the way till we've got 50 different ones, which should give you some really good information on Evony and help you become a beginner and help you become a pro on the game once you've gone through the series. So let's move on to the first part, which is why events matter. And events matter quite simply because they give you extra rewards for normal gameplay. Building upgrades, research, training troops, gathering resources, killing monsters, joining rallies, all of these things can reward you even more when events are active. And as a beginner, this is definitely massive. You don't need to be the strongest player on the server. You don't need to be spending money. You just need to be active, pay attention, and claim the rewards that are sitting there waiting for you. And that is why events are definitely one of the best tools for the free-to-play and low-spend players. They can help you speed up your growth without needing to throw any money at the game. Moving on to the next section, which is how to find the events. And the first place you want to check is the event center. Let's jump over to the game now. And you can see there's quite a few different things going on, but the main one, the event center, this is the one that is normally at the top right area of your screen if you are looking at mobile. And then you just tap into it and you'll usually see different sections such as limited, activities, and competition. And there are events like the Monarch competition, and this area is changing all the time depending on what events are currently active. So you do need to make it a habit to check this every time you log in. And even if you only have a few minutes to play, quickly checking your events can stop you missing easy rewards. And just to give you a rundown of some of the ones in the limited, we've got the Ranger Night Order going on, the Blessing of Palace, the Alliance competition. That one is now finished, but there are other ones as well. Hypnos Dream, actually, I've done really well this time round, and randomly I've completed this, I think 5 or 6 different times on this particular go. But again, the rewards that are coming from that are massive, so you do need to keep an eye on those. Let's go and have a look at the next section now, which is your daily login rewards. And these are probably the easiest rewards that you are going to get. These rewards are as simple as logging in and claiming your free items. On new accounts or new servers, Evony often gives extra beginner login rewards. Evony often gives extra beginner login rewards, which can include resources, speed up stamina, items, and sometimes other useful bonuses as well. It might not seem like a much. It might not. It might not seem like much at first, but over time, these rewards definitely add up. And the best part is you don't need to be doing. You don't need to do anything difficult. Just log in, tap claim, and take the free value. Now, what I would say with the daily login rewards. Now, moving on to the next section, and this is definitely something very important, and this is your daily activity quests. This is probably one of the most important daily systems for the beginners. You can usually find this through the tavern under daily activity or daily quest. Let's go and have a look at that on the game right now. And it's usually got some kind of treasure chest going above because you've probably already completed something that needs claiming. So when we go into here, you can see activities shining with that gold chest in the middle there. So let's go and click onto that. And this is giving you a list of simple tasks to complete each day. Things like collecting resources from your buildings, starting or finishing construction, starting or finishing research, training troops, gathering resources on the world map is another one, killing monsters, and also joining alliance rallies. Each task is giving you activity points, and as your points increase, you unlock reward chests, and the main milestones are usually at 20. And the main milestones you can see here are at 20, 50, 80, 110, with the last one being 145 points. And trying to achieve all of this every day just by doing these different tasks. So as we've already mentioned, research, clicking in there, just completing one research. I've always got something going on, offering. They're all really easy to do, to be perfectly honest. And when you do get into a routine of doing these all the time, it does become very easy indeed. And moving on to the next section, which is still within the daily activities, and moving on to the next section, which is still within the daily activities, and it's hitting that 145 point chest. This is important because it can definitely give you some useful rewards. You can get gems, resources, speed ups, and sometimes items like Key of Conscription. You can get gems, resources, speed ups, and also not just that. Let's just go back over here and have a look at what is available in that 145 point chest. Key of Conscription, that is also very important. You can see as well, normally depending on what event is going on. So at the moment, there is the lucky chip going on with the. And normally there is some kind of event. And normally there is something event specific going on. So you can see here, we've got the lucky chip, which is being used for the lucky spin, the arcade type event that is going on at the moment. And basically, and you are that. And you are getting rewarded for doing these basic daily tasks that help your account grow anyway. Just as well, just to mention there, the goods replacement permit, that is, and just to mention there as well, right at the bottom, if you have a look, we get the goddess resonance token and also goddess honor token as well, and these add up every single day, which you can use in your wisdom dome. When you go into here, it'll be these ones here, and there's some decent buffs that are available via the wisdom dome. So doing that 145 point chest as often as you can and claiming that final chest every single day, as soon as you get into the routine, it only takes a few minutes, and over weeks and months, it definitely makes a massive difference to your growth on the game. The next section that we're going to have a look at is The next section we will have a look at is the monster rallies and rewards. Another great source of rewards for beginners is definitely monster killing. And joining in the alliance rallies. And this is one of the reasons why joining an active alliance early is so important. If your alliance is running If your alliance is running rallies, you can join them and collect rewards, even if you are not strong enough to kill the monster yourself. Monster rallies can give you resources, speed ups, materials, even event points, and other useful items. And they also help with your daily activity tasks as well. So even low level monsters are worth doing when you are just starting out. The key is to stay active, join rallies when you can, and make sure you're not sitting outside of an alliance trying to do everything alone. Evony has always and always will be much easier when you are growing with a good alliance. Let's go and have a look if we've got any monster rallies going on at the moment. Yes, we do. And I use the auto join feature, and this is £9.99 a month. I definitely recommend it. If you're not going to spend anything on the game, whenever you can, this is the number one priority. If you are a low spender or don't spend at all and you're wondering, what can I spend on? Big Massive Alliance, £10 a month, rally card, auto join is definitely your best friend. And you will be joining all of these big monster rallies that are being set. You don't even have to think about it. Just make sure that you are logged on. You've put your phone somewhere else while you're doing other things and joining these rallies automatically. Ideally, in the biggest alliance with the biggest rallies going on, definitely going to make a massive difference. On to the next section, and this is other easy daily rewards. And there are a few other easy ways you can do this. First is the shrine offering. Offering at the shrine can give you useful rewards and production boosts, so it's definitely worth checking regularly. Again, it's part of your daily activity. So going across to the shrine, going into offer here, and you can see there are some different rewards down there at the bottom. And this is something that you should be doing as part of your daily activity anyway. The next thing would be checking the Wheel of Fortune event, which again is a daily activity, but again comes with some brilliant rewards for doing every day. 100 spins, 9,000, not bad at all. You can see actually, I've got 6.8 million because I never ever actually spend my items, which is something that I should do. So you can imagine I'm going to get some decent returns on this. For 9,000 coins, 9,000 of the Wheel of Fortune coins, you can see what I've got there, and that is pretty decent if you are doing this every single day. Also, keep an eye on any of the limited time events that match what you're already doing. So again, I always go into the event center. I'm checking what's going on here. Hypnostream, it's one to get involved with. Dragon Gold Wager, another one. These are limited time events that don't last all that. These are limited time events that will end, so getting involved with them. Lost Treasures, you can see it ends in 19 hours and 14 minutes. So I'm going to go in there, I'm going to use my coins. It looks like I'm not going to be very lucky in reference getting anything. No, I wasn't. That's the end of that. But again, doing these every day. Grace's Star Trail, it's a new one that's come out actually. I say new, it's been out for quite a while now. But again, claiming that coin, going back, using your spin, there is the chance to get 50 of these particular ones here. Let me show you the Starlit ticket. 50 points. If you were to get that, you'd be able to go into the Starlit shop and you would be able to redeem generals in here for 40 of those Starlit tickets. So definitely, again, being involved, get that general token, keep your fingers crossed that that's going to drop, is another great way to get rewards. Also, as well, do check out the bottom one, the valuable event. I know this is a beginner's guide, so I don't want to go too much into it, but there's normally something going on. And at the moment, the resource consumption sprint, you are gaining 1 point for every 10 million of resources spent. So that's food, lumber, stone, or ore. So make sure you're doing your big events, so make sure you're doing your big builds when an event like this is on. You can see I've already gone through quite a few of these, and you are getting lots of stamina. That's the first thing there. is the stamina you are getting. I don't know if it will show me actually. So you can see here, I've claimed all of these ones, including the level 1 completion reward, which came with 200 of the resource chests, and also 24-hour speed up for construction, 1000. So make sure you are doing your buildings, your research, ideally against a specific event going on. I wouldn't be doing big massive builds unless this particular resource consumption sprint is on the go. You've got things like super refining, so making sure that you are doing and feeding your dragon. So making sure that you are doing all of your refines when this one is on is another crucial one. Trial of Nights, that's one where you've got to spend Blood of Ares. So making sure that you are spending that Blood of Ares when Trial of Nights is on. Don't be spending it outside of that event. And this is how Evony works, super feeding. This is when you feed your dragons. Make sure, again, you are feeding your dragons when the super feeding event is on. And if you can get into a routine and learning how to do that, this is going to be definitely a great way to maximize your rewards. Which brings me on to perfectly the next one, and maximizing your rewards is absolutely crucial. Make sure you are checking your events before spending. Always check events before using a lot of speed ups or resources. Sometimes doing the exact same action during an event can give you extra rewards, as I just explained. Make sure you are joining a good alliance as soon as possible. Rallies, help timers, alliance gifts, event activity are all much better when you are in an active alliance. Make sure you are claiming everything. One of the things I will say on Evony, not loads of them, one of the things I will say on Evony, there isn't many, but there are a few that when you go into the event center and the activities, especially, there is sometimes some things in here that you won't know need collecting. And it is definitely worth, I think Garuda is a good example of an event where you don't normally see a icon, the red dot or whatever it is there to actually go and collect those rewards. So making sure you are claiming everything is very important. Make sure you are consistent. This is going to be making sure that you are doing your dailies every day. Better, which is much better than playing hard for one day than missing the next 3. Evony definitely rewards routine. It rewards patience. It rewards activity. You don't need to be perfect, but you just need to make sure that you are showing up, and that brings me on to the final piece for today, which is common beginner mistakes. There are a few things that we need to cover. The first mistake is making sure that you have collected your activity chests. If you forget to claim them, you are missing out on some really big rewards. A lot of players are completing the tasks, but actually forget to open the rewards that they've collected. Second mistake, I'll always say, join an alliance. I've got to keep adding it in there. You don't understand. If you are new to Evony, you will not understand just how important it is being in that. If you're not in an active alliance, you're missing rallies, alliance gifts, help timers, and also a lot of extra growth as well. The third mistake is ignoring your events completely. Some beginners just upgrade buildings and train troops randomly without checking if an event is active, and this is definitely a huge mistake. I just showed you on the game, and I'm going to show you one more time down at the valuable event. Make sure that you are checking valuable event often. You can find things in here that are normally specific to something you are doing. I've mentioned it already, but I'll mention it again. Make sure you are doing your refining when a super refining event is on. Make sure that you are using your Blood of Ares when Trial of Nights is on. Make sure you are feeding your dragon when super feeding is on. And if you can get into that really good routine, then this is definitely going to be something that is going to benefit you in the long run. So to quickly cap, check the event center every day, claim your daily login rewards, complete your daily activity tasks, aim for that 145 point chest, Join all of the Alliance rallies that you can. Use Shrine Offering and Wheel of Fortune, don't forget them. And always check events before spending big resources or speed ups. Beginner events and rewards are one of the easiest ways to grow faster in Evony, especially if you're free to play. They may seem small at first, but definitely over time, these will add up massively. And that is it for this particular episode of Beginner to Pro. We've been talking about the beginner events. Make sure to keep checking in with all of the different ones. In the next episode, we will actually be learning about hatching and raising dragons and talking about dragons and how they work. After that, we will also talk about the different types of dragon gear. Starting to move nicely through this particular Beginner to Pro series on Evony. And remember, all of these will be added on Top Game Strategies website, which I will be adding all of my different guides on there. There are all the different games in there as well. So you can see the likes of Age of Empires Mobile, Foundation, Galactic Frontier, all of these different ones. And again, let's go back to Evony, click on Forum. You'll be able to have a look at all the different forums that are going on there. And also, you can also click on All Guides, which will show you all of the guides that I've made for Evony, including all of my videos as well. That's topgamestrategies.com. That is where I'm leaving this particular episode. Do let me know in the comments if there is anything that I have missed. Remember, you guys are the experts. It's your input that makes us all stronger. So please do input in the comments anything that I may have missed, your knowledge in reference fighting the monsters, maybe some different perspectives, whatever it is, do let us know in the comments. Together we can dominate. And that is the end of this particular video. And I will see you in another video very soon. Thanks for watching.